Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the year 2025, Earth stood on the cusp of limitless potential. The sky was painted with the vibrancy of distant worlds. Humanity, having made its first true intergalactic contact with intelligent life, found itself in an unusual but thrilling arrangement with species from the stars. It was a time when curiosity mingled with the unknown, and the community center at the heart of the city served as a melting pot for cultures, ideas, and alien conversations. Alex Morgan, a 20-something introvert with a passion for understanding the universe, was the kind of person who thrived at the junction of curiosity and caution. With tousled hair and well-worn jeans, he seemed an ordinary human at first glance. Yet, the glint of unending wonder shone in his hazel eyes, reflecting a yearning for connection, one he hadn't fully achieved until now. Every day at the center, Alex engaged with various alien species, each interaction weaving a colorful tapestry of learning and friendship. Yet, hidden beneath his easy smile was an ache for something deeper. The loneliness clung to him like a shadow, especially as he watched others navigate relationships between humans and the shimmering, vibrant beings from across the stars. The morning sun beamed through the vast, glass-pane windows of the community center, illuminating the bustling hall where the air was alive with the voices of laughter and lingering conversations. Today was a particularly special day. Alex had a sense something was on the cusp of changing. As the clock struck 9, the doors of the center burst open, and in strode Kreth, Alex's friend and an alien of the Zalithia species, their iridescent skin shimmering like a shimmering rainbow in the light. With towering stature and large, expressive eyes, Kreth stood out, a presence both awe-inspiring and comforting. They had been a steadfast companion in Alex's explorations of the unknown. Kreth approached, their eyes sparkling with excitement. "Alex, I need your help." They blurted out, their voice a melodic, soothing sound that filled the air with warmth. "Sure. What's up, Kreth?" Alex asked, intrigued yet slightly wary. "I must leave for an important mission on my home planet, and I need someone reliable to look after Zari," Kreth explained, their tone shifting from excitement to concern. "Zari is well. They're my partner, and they might be a little lost here." Alex's eyebrows arched in surprise. "You have a partner? An alien partner? This is unexpected," he managed, the wheels in his mind turning. He had assumed Kreth lived a carefree, solitary life. The idea of caring for a partner, a being from another world, sparked both intrigue and anxiety in him. "Yes, Zari is quite special," Kreth continued, their tone earnest. "They're from my species, but are quite different from me. Their emotional sensitivity can be overwhelming. I worry about how they'll adapt to your world. It's vital that they feel safe." "Okay, but what do you need me to do? Just feed them? Walk them?" Alex chuckled nervously, thinking of Zari as a pet, not quite grasping the gravity of the request. Kreth's expression fell momentarily. "Zari is not a pet, Alex. They are intelligent and capable of emotions that you humans find hard to comprehend. They will need companionship and understanding more than anything." The tone shifted from playful to earnest, a solemn weight hanging in the air. "Of course. I'll take care of Zari. How hard can it be?" Alex reassured Kreth, a blend of excitement and uncertainty bubbling within him. Kreth smiled, gigantic eyes widening. "Thank you. I will make arrangements, and I'll be back soon." They leaned in closer, whispering, "And just remember, Zari is not accustomed to your world. Please take care of them, not just their needs, but emotionally as well." With that, Kreth departed, leaving Alex alone in the center, filled with anticipation about this new challenge ahead. A mixture of worry and excitement filled his mind. What kind of creature would Zari be? How would this work out? The answers danced in his mind, and for the first time in a long while, he felt a spark of hope igniting inside him, the potential of companionship that transcended even species. Little did he know, Zari was about to reshape his entire understanding of connection. Days passed in a blur of anticipation. Alex couldn't shake the feeling of nerves tinged with excitement. Each day he thought of Kreth's words, feeling that they held a weight far beyond a simple request to care for an alien partner. He prepared himself mentally, researching interspecies relationships and trying to learn what it meant to connect with a being so different from himself. Finally, the day arrived when Zari would come to stay with him. The center bustled as usual, but today, Alex found himself on edge, glancing frequently at the door. He had made a small space for Zari in his modest apartment, transforming a corner of his living room into a warm sanctuary, adorned with soft blankets and glowing lights. At precisely 3 o'clock, the door opened, and in walked Kreth, this time not alone. Behind them stood Zari, a striking figure wrapped in layers of shimmering fabric reminiscent of liquid silver, catching the light with every movement. Their skin shimmered like the surface of a distant planet, blending hues of sapphire and emerald. Zari's large, deep-set eyes held a kaleidoscope of emotions, curiosity, apprehension, and an underlying sadness that tugged at Alex's heartstrings. As Zari stepped forward, their forms seemed to hesitate, as if caught between two worlds. "Hello, Zari," Alex said gently, extending a hand as a friendly gesture. "Aiv Alex. Kreth told me a lot about you." Zari glanced between Kreth and Alex, uncertainty etched across their graceful features. Thank you for allowing me to stay." Their voice was melodic, softer than Alex expected, echoing with an otherworldly lilt. Kreth smiled reassuringly, nodding encouragingly. "You'll be just fine here, Zari. Alex is a good human. Just remember to take things slow. You'll get used to everything in time." After a moment of silence, Zari tentatively approached Alex, their eyes scanning him with curiosity. Alex stood still, heartbeat quickening, hoping to convey reassurance through his presence. With Kreth's encouraging nod, Alex motioned towards the cozy corner he'd prepared. "Why don't we get you settled? I made a little area just for you." Reluctantly, Zari approached the blankets and cushions. They looked around the apartment, their gaze landing on the window that showcased a sprawling view of the city, alive with sounds and colors. Anxiety lined Zari's features, evident in the way they clutched the fabric around them. "It's different here," Zari remarked, their voice tinged with apprehension. "So many people, it's overwhelming." "I understand. It can take time to adjust," Alex replied, attempting to navigate through the delicate emotions resting between them. "Why would you want to care for me?" Zari's question pierced through the tension in the air. Their large eyes searched Alex's face, longing for validation. "Because Kreth trusts me, and I want to help," Alex answered honestly. "And I want to know you better. I think we can be friends." Zari's expression transformed, intrigue flickering behind their eyes. "Friends?" Their tone was tentative, almost fragile, yet curiosity began to ripple across their features. With each passing moment, a bridge started to form between them, built on shared vulnerability. As Alex spent time explaining Earth customs, showing Zari simple things like art and music, the initial tension began to shift. They watched Alex with a mixture of fascination and confusion, absorbing the nuances of human behavior. Yet, the cracks of emotional weight still loomed beneath the surface. Zari's struggle to integrate into Alex's world grew more apparent as moments became intertwined with unspoken worries. At one point, Alex offered Zari a piece of fruit, one they had never seen before. Zari hesitated, studying the juicy texture, unsure of what to do. "What is this?" "It's called a peach. It's sweet and juicy. Here, try it." Alex encouraged, biting into his own piece. Zari watched intently, yet still hesitated. "Is it safe for me?" Zari's voice softened, a thread of vulnerability tangled in their question. "Absolutely." Alex chuckled, trying to lift the mood. "If I can eat it, I promise it's safe. Plus, you could think of it as an adventure." With a timid smile, Zari took a cautious bite. Eyes wide with surprise, they savored the sweetness, a sense of joy emerging as the juices coated their tongue. "It's delightful." They laughed, the sound brightening the atmosphere. In that moment, a crack appeared in Zari's guarded exterior, revealing the vibrant personality hidden beneath layers of anxiety. Alex's heart soared, realizing that they were building something meaningful, layer by layer. But the day wasn't without its challenges. As the sun began to set, Kreth reached out in a quick video call, beaming with excitement. "How is it going? Zari, are you settling in?" "I am." Zari hesitated, then looked at Alex, uncertainty cloaking their features. "It is strange here. I am overwhelmed." "It's okay, Zari," Kreth reassured. "Take your time. You're safe with Alex. Explore, learn, and remember I'll be back very soon." As Zari hung up, the emotions that had been festering since their arrival began to bubble to the surface once more. The mixture of excitement and fear that had been bubbling in the atmosphere began to fill the space between them, leaving Alex acutely aware that this was only the beginning of an extraordinary journey. As night enveloped the room, the warmth of understanding and the weight of uncertainty both lingered, intertwining hopes and fears in a fragile dance. Little did they know that the challenges ahead would test the boundaries of their newfound bond in ways they could never have anticipated. The following days after Zari's arrival unfolded slowly, yet they formed a montage of their shared existence. Each moment was imbued with curiosity and a sense of exploration as Alex introduced Zari to the human world, full of unwritten rules and unspoken traditions. "Today, let's explore the local area," Alex suggested during breakfast, a simple meal of toast and fruit. Zari seemed particularly drawn to the vibrant colors of the food, fascinated by how humans decorated their meals. "What is this toast?" Zari inquired, observing the golden brown slices. The way they studied everything with such intensity made Alex's heart warm. "It's just bread that's been toasted until it's crispy. You can add toppings," Alex explained, spread with a layer of jam and handing Zari a slice. Zari took a cautious bite and nodded appreciatively, their eyes brightening with the discovery. "This is interesting. It has layers of taste." Encouraged by Zari's enthusiasm, Alex felt invigorated. "There's a whole world of human food out there. You'll have to try a lot more different things." After breakfast, they ventured out into the city. The sun cast a golden hue over everything, bustling streets filled with people and interstellar visitors alike. They strolled through the local market, where stalls overflowed with a kaleidoscope of colors, flowers, fruits, and art from various cultures. Zari was captivated by the vivid atmosphere. New scents filled their nostrils, a sensory overload of spices and blossoming flowers that danced in the air. "This is delightful," Zari exclaimed, stopping to admire the wares that surrounded them. However, a strange blend of amusement and apprehension washed over Alex. He realized that for Zari, who had experienced only the harmony of their home planet, the chaos of Earth's market was overwhelming. As they navigated the stalls, Zari curiously reached for an exotic fruit, their fingers brushing against a vibrant orange. A moment later, a vendor approached with a booming voice. "Don't touch that. You break it, you buy it." The tone startled Zari, who instinctively withdrew, eyes wide with confusion and anxiety, vulnerable under the unfamiliar gaze of strangers. Without thinking, Alex stepped in front of Zari. "It's okay. We just want to look," he reassured, generating a protective instinct that surged within him. Zari's shoulders relaxed behind Alex, and the warmth of his calm comfort wrapped around them like a shield. The vendor watched them, uncertainty flickering across his face, before eventually retreating, returning to his duties. "Thank you," Zari whispered, their voice small yet filled with gratitude. The moment had revealed the fragility of Zari's emotional state, an awareness that pressed on Alex's heart. As the day progressed, laughter painted their time together. They shared park benches wrapped in sunlight, occasionally interrupted by playful dogs, as Zari leaned into learning about Earth and its inhabitants. "Tell me about this hobby you mentioned," Zari prompted, intrigued by the concept of humans engaging in activities purely for enjoyment. Alex smiled, remembering his childhood fascination with drawing. "It's something I love to do, to create. I usually draw landscapes and people. Would you like to see?" Zari nodded eagerly, and over the next few days, Alex revealed a sketchbook filled with ideas and stories. As Zari examined the artwork, they marveled at the beauty of human creativity, eyes lighting up with wonder. "Each drawing tells a story?" Zari inquired, leaning forward with rapt attention. "Yes, exactly. Like this one," Alex replied, flipping to a page centered on a vibrant sunset over the ocean. "This represents a moment of peace, a feeling I chase often. Zari touched the page delicately, glimmering fingertips brushing against the paper as if trying to absorb the essence of Alex's story. I want to create too. Is there a special way for me to do that? And so, with each interaction, new layers of understanding unfolded between them. Zari began to express their own creativity through clumsy sketches, each line flowing from their fingertips like liquid light. Though their images differed from human concepts, Alex saw the beauty in Zari's raw honesty, portraits of emotion and connection that transcended traditional art. But moments of joy were often interspersed with reminders of Zari's internal struggles, their fears flickering behind joyful encounters. One evening, while working together on their sketches, a sudden quiet fell over them, the room engulfed by a palpable silence. Zari's expression grew heavy, reflecting confusion inside. Something unspoken loomed in the air, and Alex noticed the tension that had taken root. He looked up from his drawing. "What's on your mind, Zari?" I feel so different here. It's like I'm in a dream where everything is beautiful, yet I don't know how to fit in," Zari admitted, their voice trembling with vulnerability. "It's hard to ask for what I need." Alex's heart ached at the admission. "You need time, Zari. It's okay to feel lost. Even we humans grapple with finding our place sometimes." "But you seem to belong everywhere," Zari replied plaintively. "You move through this world so easily. That's what makes you different." Alex smiled gently, gesturing toward Zari's sketches that reflected a deep well of feelings. "You see things I don't. You could teach me about your world, like how to see past the surface of things." Zari's large eyes sparkled with a mix of hope and uncertainty. "Teach you?" they echoed, a hesitant smile breaking through the weight of doubt. "Yeah, I want to learn everything about you, your culture, your experiences," Alex encouraged earnestly, recognizing the delicate strength Zari possessed. "Together, we can create a harmony between our worlds." Zari smiled, a shimmer igniting in their spirit, and Alex caught a glimpse of a bloom blossoming in the darkness. This moment marked a turning point. They were no longer two beings trying to coexist. They were coming together to learn from one another, crafting a relationship that challenged the boundaries of understanding, one brush stroke, one story at a time. As the days unfolded, the laughter, moments of exploration, and quiet reflections marked the early journey of their connection. Alex felt a growing bond with Zari, a friendship blossoming amidst the backdrop of cultural discovery and emotional support, with each interaction strengthening the thread that wove their lives together. Yet, remaining challenges loomed ahead, and neither could sense the brewing storm of societal disapproval that lay just beyond the horizon, ready to test the resilience of their bond. As the days turned into weeks, the bond between Alex and Zari blossomed amid moments of laughter and creativity. They spent their evenings talking about their respective worlds, sharing stories that revealed the vast differences and similarities between their cultures. However, the magic of their connection soon began to encounter turbulence. One afternoon, as they sat together in the community center, a small gathering of humans and aliens initiated a discussion on interspecies relations. Alex was excited to introduce Zari to his friends, believing they'd feel welcomed in this diverse environment. But as the dialogue unfolded, the atmosphere shifted to something heavy and foreboding. "I just don't get why we should accommodate them," a vocal human expressed, their voice cutting through the air. "They're not like us. They don't even have our values." Zari stiffened at the remark, their skin shifting hues, a reflection of their inner turmoil. Alex's heart sank. "That's not true," he interjected, feeling protective. "Zari is just as capable of love and understanding as any of us." "Not everyone sees it that way," the human countered with a dismissive wave. "It's a slippery slope. Allowing them too much freedom threatens our way of life." As the conversation spiraled, Alex noticed Zari's face pale. He could almost hear the internal struggle as they tried desperately not to let the harsh words pierce through them. Unable to contain himself, Alex stood and coaxed Zari to their feet. "We're leaving. This isn't right." Once outside, a wave of fresh air met them, but the chill in Zari's demeanor lingered. They stood silently, the weight of the earlier conversation reflected in the furrow of their brow. "Are you okay?" Alex asked gently, stepping closer, No, Zari breathed, their voice shaky. Do you really believe that I can fit into your world? Of course. You belong here, Zari, Alex affirmed, feeling the urge to shield them from the harshness of others' judgments. Just because some people are narrow-minded doesn't change who you are. You are incredible. Zari's eyes fell, shadowing their vibrant spirit with a hint of insecurity. Do they hate me? It's not you they hate, it's fear, Alex explained, realizing the gravity of the situation. Change is hard for some people, but there will always be those who accept you for who you are. Nevertheless, the words didn't seem to lift the cloud hovering over Zari. They took a small step back, their protective instincts flaring. Maybe I should leave. Go back to my home planet, where I am understood. Zari, please don't say that. Alex pleaded, feeling a burgeoning panic at the thought of losing them. You're safe here. We're building something amazing together. But it's hard, Zari admitted, tears forming in the corners of their luminous eyes. I don't know how to navigate this world, and now I'm not so sure if I have a place. Just then, Kreth arrived, having sensed the distress in Zari's body language from a distance. Zari, what happened? Their voice was concerned, yet firm. There are many who think we don't belong. We're too different, Zari whispered, bearing a weight that was palpable. Kreth's expression hardened slightly, reflecting the pain of their own experiences. Not everyone will understand, but we must pave the way for acceptance. We deserve our voices. Acceptance, Zari repeated, voice wavering. How do I even begin to push against this fear? Alex stepped forward, feeling a glimmer of determination rise within him. Together, he said firmly, if we advocate for you, if we tell our stories and encourage communication, we can break down those barriers. Zari looked between Alex and Kreth, searching for a spark of hope. But I don't know if I'm strong enough to face this conflict, they murmured. Strength is often found in vulnerability, Kreth replied gently. No one says you need to bear this alone. You have us. The moment hung heavy in the air as Zari took a breath, searching through their swirling emotions. What if it doesn't work? What if I truly don't belong? Looking at Zari, Alex couldn't help but see the raw beauty of what they were experiencing, their fears resonating with the core human experiences of love and acceptance. It's about finding your place and carving out a space where you feel comfortable being who you are. We can't give up. Zari studied Alex's earnest expression, a flicker of hope igniting within. I want to believe that, they whispered, uncertainty mingling with the urging desire to belong. After that day, the trio began to strategize ways to foster understanding between species. They planned gatherings at the community center, events that would celebrate shared stories, experiences, and culture. They envisioned creating an atmosphere where both humans and aliens could explore and appreciate each other's worlds, an endeavor that came with its own set of challenges. However, not everyone was supportive. As news of Alex, Zari, and Kreth's initiative spread, whispers began to swirl, both in the center and outside. Some humans were vocal about their disapproval, spewing animosity about the dangers of interspecies relationships. One evening, Alex and Zari received a particularly scathing message, one warning that people didn't want to see a human mingling with an alien. The vitriol left Alex feeling sickened, while Zari's reaction was one of painful introspection. What if they're right? Zari asked in despair, their eyes clouding with doubt. What if we're all doomed for failure? No, Alex replied emphatically, stepping closer to Zari, desperate to pierce through the fog of negativity. Don't let fear dictate your worth. You shine a light in this world just by being yourself. But defensively, Zari stepped back, clenching their hands into fists, a gesture of turmoil igniting within. Yet it seems every day is a battle. Perhaps it would be easier for everyone if I went home. I avoid the conflict that way. Alex felt a pang of heartache resonating through him. No, Thuddy, don't say that, he insisted, his voice filled with urgency. We're fighting for something beautiful, for you to be who you are, for everyone to have their place. It's not easy, but it's worth striving for. Zari hesitated, their expression lifeless for a moment before they softly replied. Can we truly make a difference? I can't bear the thought of pushing you away, Alex. This is no longer just about you or me. It's about challenge and change, and it's worth it, Zari. Together, we can help create something extraordinary, he responded with conviction, knowing that despite their fears, the journey they were on could alter the trajectory of acceptance in their world. Resolutely, Zari nodded as a glimmer of hope stirred in their heart, igniting the bond they were forging as they chose to bravely face the unknown together. Yet, in the shadowy corners of their community, dissent was brewing, a harbinger of the challenges that lay ahead, pushing their resolve to the limits, testing the strength of the connection they were building. The city was alive, but for Alex and Zari, it felt like a storm was brewing. After weeks of preparations, their first interspecies cultural gathering was upon them, an event aimed at fostering understanding, acceptance, and community. Yet, the atmosphere was thick with anxious anticipation, with whispered gossip and murmurs of dissent circulating rapidly among those who opposed their efforts. As the sun dipped below the skyline, casting long shadows across the community center, Alex and Zari stood side by side at the entrance, greeting attendees. Despite the earlier enthusiasm, anxiety fluttered in their chests. "Do you think anyone will show?" Zari asked nervously, their voice barely above a whisper, worry etching lines across their delicate features. "Of course. This is a chance to learn," Alex reassured, though his own heart raced at the thought of potential backlash. He held Zari's hand for a brief moment to offer comfort, grounding them in that shared commitment. People began filtering in, both humans and aliens exchanging nervous glances, unsure of what to expect. Kreth moved about, making connections, exchanging ideas, and promoting dialogue among attendees. Minutes felt like hours as more participants arrived. The energy in the center shifted from a warm hum of excitement to an undercurrent of distrust as a few prominent critics of interspecies relations surged into the space. They stood tall, adorned with disdainful glances and dismissive expressions, their presence a stark reminder of the divide that remained. Alex exchanged a worried look with Zari, but steeled himself. "Let's put our hearts into the opening speech," he urged, eager to guide the flow of the evening. As the evening unfolded, Alex began with a warm welcome, speaking about the importance of connection through understanding. "Tonight, we gather not just to celebrate our differences, but to embrace the beauty of shared experiences," he declared, gesturing toward Zari, who stood beside him, dripping with nervous energy. "And I am here to share my world with you," Zari added, voice trembling slightly, yet determined. "We are all capable of love and understanding, no matter where we come from. This evening, I hope we can create bonds that go beyond mere tolerance." As Zari spoke, the air within the center shifted, and for a moment, it felt like acceptance washed over the crowd. But just as hope grew, the dissenters began to speak, loudly, with hostility and contempt. "This is nonsense. Why should we allow our way of life to be disrupted by those who do not belong?" One of the dissenting humans shouted, loud enough for the whole room to hear. "You talk of love and acceptance, but do you really understand the consequences?" Gasps rippled through the crowd, the air charged with tension. Alex's pulse quickened. The clash of hostility against love had arrived, and he could feel Zari stiffen beside him, vulnerability flickering as anxiety gripped their heart. "It's not just about humans and aliens. This is about the future of our species," another dissenter echoed, eyes blazing. "We cannot allow ourselves to be led by emotions. They are foreign to us." Zari's expression faltered, their spirit dampening under the weight of the harsh words. "See, they don't want me here," Zari whispered, almost lost amid the escalating chaos. Alex's heart sank, knowing how deeply these sentiments pierced through Zari's already bruised spirit. "No," Alex responded urgently, positioning himself closer to Zari, determined to shield them from the backlash. "This gathering is about love, connection, and understanding. We surpass these boundaries if we commit to seeing one another." Yet, the dissenters only grew louder, fueled by fear and prejudice. "You're naive to think everything will be fine. This isn't a fairy tale. It will create division," one of the dissenters shouted, raising their voice above the swelling crowd. "I won't stand by while you ruin our communities," another added, stepping forward aggressively. The tension boiled over as voices rose, a cacophony echoing within the room. Zari's breathing quickened, their body trembling as the hostility suffocated them. The world that had been a tapestry of hope and connection seemed to shatter in an instant. "Zari, please. Just breathe," Alex said softly, willing to shield their mind from the raging torrent around them. "I'm sorry, I can't do this," Zari stammered, pulling away from Alex. "Please don't go," Alex implored, reaching for Zari's hand, desperation clawing at his heart. But Zari pulled back, tears welling in their eyes. What if they're right? What if this was a mistake? "No, you belong here, Zari." Alex's voice trembled, fear gnawing at him. "You are not alone in this fight. We can face this together." Catching their breath, Zari looked around in distress, witness to the divisiveness that surrounded them. "It's overwhelming. I feel lost, Alex. I can't bridge this gap if they won't even listen to me." Panic surged within Alex, sensing the fragile thread that connected them unraveling. "We can be a voice of change. We're powerful together." His heart raced, and a flicker of determination ignited within him. But before Alex could speak again, another dissenting voice cut through, a challenge layered with venom. "This is an affront to our kind. You're defiling our values." Zari flinched, doubt clouding their eyes, fear threatening to consume them whole as their hand unconsciously drifted away from Alex's reach. In that moment, as the tension escalated, something within Alex snapped. The desire for change surged, overpowering the feeling of helplessness. "Enough!" Alex's voice boomed, raw and powerful as it cut through the chaos. "You think our differences divide us, but that is where you're wrong. It's our unique experiences that create a vibrant tapestry. Zari and I are working to foster understanding, to change perceptions, not to erase anyone's identity." The crowd fell silent, astonished by Alex's passionate outburst, yet not everyone was convinced. The dissenters exchanged furtive glances, eyes narrowing. "Is love really so threatening?" he questioned, voice steady yet vibrant with energy. "As I stand here, next to Zari, I feel everything that they represent, a bridge between worlds. We can either choose to embrace what makes us different or let fear guide us into a future filled with hatred and division." Zari drew closer, their eyes shimmering with unshed tears, the weight of uncertainty hanging heavy between them. "I want to fight for our place, for acceptance," Zari whispered, their soft voice barely audible in the tense air. Encouraged by the bond they had forged, Alex reached for Zari's hand again, intertwining their fingers. "Together," he said, unwavering. "Together, we can break these barriers." Slowly, murmurs began to ripple through the audience, confusion softening to contemplation. Some started to shift their perspectives, while others scorned the potential of a united front. But it was a shift nonetheless, an opening for dialogue, however fragile. "Do we really want to let fear dictate our future?" Alex continued, words flowing with resolve. "We have the chance to shape a world where love transcends all boundaries, where we celebrate the beauty of our differences." The energy began to shift. Eyes softened as compassion slowly seeped in, the power of unity flickering brightly. In that moment, Zari felt an ember of hope arise within them, a radiant spark igniting in the shadows of despair. Together, they stood as representatives of change, as doubts and fears tangled with new possibilities. But as applause began to ripple through the crowd, Alex and Zari were acutely aware of the struggles that lay ahead. The dissenters would not back down easily, but they knew something essential had been forged between them, a commitment to fight for their future, one moment at a time. And so, as the night closed on the first gathering amidst a chorus of uncertainty and resolve, Alex and Zari stood united, knowing they had sparked a glimmer of change in a world eager to clash, but also capable of compassion. The gathering had ignited a flame of hope, but not without leaving behind the smoldering remnants of contention. As the night ended, while some attendees left with new perspectives, others departed with resentment, unwilling to embrace the change Alex and Zari modeled. Yet, amidst the swirling emotions, Alex felt a warmth settle over him as he glanced at Zari. "We did it," he whispered, a breathless awe ringing in his voice. "We faced them together." Zari beamed, their expression a tapestry of relief and tenderness. I didn't think I could be brave enough. Thank you for believing in us. But it's not just me, Alex insisted, holding Zari's gaze. You showed everyone the beauty of who you are, and that matters. As the weeks turned into months, the ripple effects of the gathering transformed the dialogue around interspecies relationships throughout the community. Slowly, the tide began to shift, albeit with resistance still lurking at the edges. In the following weeks, Alex and Zari dedicated themselves to organizing more events, celebrations, art exhibitions, and discussions where stories could be shared without fear of judgment. Each gathering served as a platform for voices that had long been silenced, bridging gaps that once seemed insurmountable. However, opposition remained a persistent shadow. Zari often expressed their anxiety to Alex, the remnants of fear lingering in their heart. What if it wasn't enough? They wondered in moments of vulnerability, the worry reflecting in their eyes. Every small step counts, Alex reassured, wrapping an arm around Zari's shoulders as they sat on the balcony of his apartment one magic-colored evening. Change takes time, but every effort we make leaves a mark, and we are making history together. Their nights were filled with laughter and inspiration, where Zari's artistry flourished under the encouragement of newfound friends. They used their sketches to depict their experiences, capturing the beauty of connection, vulnerability, and the tenacity to belong. But those flickers of hope dimmed when sudden backlash emerged, echoing from the dissenters who had regrouped, determined to extinguish the bond they saw as a threat. Harassment grew more pronounced, and hostile messages flooded Alex's social media, taunting the very essence of their relationship. One evening, Alex noticed Zari's spirit dampen, their sketches untouched in a corner. "I can't focus," Zari murmured, the heaviness in their voice piercing through him. "It's like all the hope we've built is crumbling under pressure." "That's not true. It's just a setback," Alex responded, willing to fight the growing shadows surrounding their venture. "We've come too far to reverse now. Your voice matters, my voice matters. They can't drown us out if we stand together. Remember, it's our strength that'll carry us through. You mean so much to me." Feeling the genuine warmth in Alex's words, Zari looked up, hope flickering in their gaze once more. What if fighting back only leads to more hatred? "Then we'll push back harder," Alex vowed passionately. "We'll write a narrative that cannot be ignored, a narrative filled with acceptance and love. We cannot let fear define our future." Emboldened, Zari embraced the passion they shared, and together, they conjured plans for an upcoming community showcase, a celebration of the unity they had fought for. They invited allies willing to stand by them and confront the challenges openly. The night of the showcase arrived. An explosion of colors, sounds, and emotions filled the community center. The walls adorned with artwork reflecting the rich tapestry of life showcased the lives they all led. Tales of love, struggle, and acceptance prominently displayed for all to see. As Alex and Zari roamed among the attendees, they witnessed the mingling of humans and aliens share laughter, paint, and stories. It was a sight they had dreamed of, a glimpse of the world they were fighting for. Suddenly, a sharp voice struck through the jovial atmosphere. "This should be illegal." It was one of the previously vocal dissenters, stepping into the spotlight. "You are disrespecting your kind, parading around with those who don't belong." An electric tension engulfed the room, and Alex felt Zari tense beside him. "Ignore them," he murmured, squeezing Zari's hand. "We stay focused. Love does not thrive in fear." But Zari's eyes were locked onto the outburst, reflecting a mixture of pain and resolve. "No, Alex, I can't stay silent this time," they said quietly, stepping forward, breaking free from Alex's grasp as if to sever the ties that tied them to fear. "Stop. Everyone deserves a place." Zari spoke passionately, and the room fell silent, all eyes turning toward them. "I am not a threat, but a reflection of diversity. Love should know no borders." The dissenting voice faltered, uncertainty creeping in as the crowd began murmuring in assent, echoing Zari's powerful declaration. "This gathering is a testament to unity," Alex added, stepping beside Zari, their fingers entwined. "We are here to celebrate our connections, to learn, to educate. Hate may knock on our door, but love will always answer. With every heartbeat, Alex felt the tide shifting. More and more people began to echo their sentiments, supporting Zari's call for love and acceptance. As voices merged, defiance began to drown out the negativity. The atmosphere transformed, a chorus of acceptance rising to engulf the dissenters' objections. As a smile broke across Zari's face, they heard the roar of encouragement swell through the crowd, a palpable sense of camaraderie igniting as people embraced a date of love and liberation. From that day forward, changes began to blossom within their community and beyond. The walls of division slowly chipped away, as people began to share their stories across boundaries, realizing that love transcended culture, language, and identity. It united them all. As Alex and Zari stood hand in hand, facing a world rife with challenges, they knew they had set the foundation for a future built on love and steadfast commitment. The path forward would not be easy, and there would be more obstacles to face, but they had revitalized the spirit of hope, enough to fuel their fire through any storm. The journey they embarked on was just the beginning, but together they were more resilient than they had ever believed possible. As they watched the sunset bleed into the horizon, hand in hand, Alex and Zari felt an unwavering sense of belonging wash over them, a definitive recognition that no matter the challenges ahead, they were home, together.